They are a student leadership team in our department, and we're glad they could join us this afternoon to talk about their experiences and what it's like being a student, a MEC student at CSU. So we do have a little PowerPoint. Oh, sorry, before we get started, our session will be recorded, just heads up. Wanted to give you, let you know that our session will be recorded. So yeah, just putting that out there. We did have a little PowerPoint presentation that we wanted to share kind of as we go. Each of our students will share a little bit about themselves and kind of some of the highlights of being a MEC student here. So I'll share my screen with you so y'all can see that. We'll have a little Q&A at the end as well, so you guys can feel free to post questions on the chat function, or you guys can hold your questions to the end, whatever you prefer. But we'll definitely have a little Q&A where you guys can ask, questions directly to our students. We'll give you some time after we're done with our presentation here. So, okay, here we go. Okay, so like I said, this is a MEC student experience. We'll get started with Maren, who will be starting us off.
Hi guys, I'm Maren, and as Star said, I'm a member of the exec board. And as members of the exec board, we uphold and value inclusion, integrity, respect, service, and social justice in the highest regard inside the MEC community. So I'm just going to take a sec and break down what these principles really mean to us. So by inclusion, we encourage and strive to create an inclusive environment for the entire mechanical engineering community, regardless of identity, skill, or ideas. Integrity, we hold ourselves accountable for our actions and act ethically and with candor every day. Respect, we honor the integrity of all people within our environment. We're firmly committed to the freedom of expression, critical discourse, and the advancement of knowledge. Service, we're collectively and individually responsible to give our time and talent and resources to promote and prioritize the well-being of each other and the communities around us locally, globally. And social justice, we each have the right to be treated and to treat others with equity, fairness, and respect. And we challenge prejudice in any form and uphold the policies and laws that promote justice in all respects. And then, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you for that. We'll go ahead and get started, I guess. Like I said, everyone will do a little brief introduction and share some things and highlights of being a MEC student in our department. So I guess we'll get started. First one up is you again.
So again, I'm Maren. I am from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm fourth year studying biomedical and mechanical engineering. And why I like being a CSU MEC RAM is because every class is a doable challenge. Throughout the rigor of my courses, I know that I'm going to become the best engineer that I can be. Through all the hard work, the blood, the sweat, and the tears, I know that it's all going to be worth it in the end. I actually have, and then professors who care. So I actually have professors who are CSU alum themselves. And I know that not only do they care about my academics, but they care about my well-being, and they understand the workload and the stresses that each and every one of us are under, balancing school and extracurriculars and work and finding internships and all the other things that we have to do as students, because they did the same exact thing during their time here. I really like the friendships and community. I came from out of state. It was a hard adjustment not knowing a lot of people. And I can honestly say that the first person that I met freshman year was my friend Mel. We are best friends to this day, right outside my MEC classroom, my first class of freshman year. We met each other, we talked, and I'm supposed to be living with her right now, but I'm currently in Albuquerque. And then everyone else that I met freshman year, some of my closest friends are all from my first or second semester that you meet in recitation, your other MET courses, and just the incredibly close environment that we have here in the MET community. Like, you all get through it together and everyone's here to support each other. And I just love that feeling being inside MEC. And Fort Collins is just hands down a beautiful place. The town has amazing food. The people are great here. Everyone's so friendly. And we have all 4 seasons. There's Horsetooth right close by for swimming and biking and hiking and climbing, and if you just enjoy the outdoors, FOCO is just, it's the place for you. Not to mention how open and amazing our campus is, where everyone is just incredibly proud to be a CSU Ram. And I think next up is Jethro.
Thank you, Maren.
Cool. Hey guys, my name is Jethro Leroux. It's going to be hard to beat Maren's summary of Fort Collins, but I'm going to try. So I'm an international student from South Africa. So coming to the States to study was a big step because I didn't know anyone else doing the same thing. I'd never actually been to Colorado. I'd never seen CSU before I came here. But honestly, I couldn't be happier. I'm in my 4th year here, and I'd say all of my friends are mechanical engineering students. They're some of the best friends I've ever had in my whole life. Fort Collins is just an amazing place. And I love it for many reasons. One of my favorite things is the professors. They, as Maren was saying, they really are there to help you and help you through your studies. I have an internship at the moment with an engineering company called Woodward, and I actually got that through one of my professors, through talking to them and then getting a contact through them and then being able to get this job. So that was really awesome. The professors really are there to help you. So I would suggest, or if you do come to CSU, integrate yourselves with the professors and everyone in the mechanical engineering program because everyone is so great. There's a lot of opportunities to get involved in the MEC program, the MEC exec board being one of them. My freshman year, Star came to one of my classes and said, hey, we've got this club. If anyone wants to join it, send me a resume. And I joined it. I was one of the founding members. And honestly, it's just been so great so far. We do a lot of great things. We have events all the time. And we really do try to integrate the community and everyone in the community and just get that good sense of community within our department. Another reason I like Fort Collins is the weather is awesome. I don't know the exact number, but I think there's about 300 days of sunshine in the year, which is a lot. So if you like sun, which I do, especially coming from the beach and everything, I really do enjoy the weather here. And the best part is you get to experience seasons, something I'd never experienced before, snow and fall and things like that. Where I come from, everything is just hot all the time. And then finally, the bars and restaurants around Old Town are a great place to hang around. It's just great nightlife around here. There's great places to eat. When you turn 21, great places to get a beer from a craft brewery or something like that. It really is just diverse and a great place to hang around and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Jethro. We'll move on to Manav.
Hello, everybody. My name is Manav, and I'm an international student in my 3rd year here. I'm from India, and I traveled. This was like my first time getting out of country, traveling alone, and getting to a place where I'm just all by myself and trying to figure things out. So that was a good experience coming to CSU because most of the people were very helpful. Like, even if I'm lost in streets, the people in Fort Collins are very nice. They usually help you out, like where you have to go, what bus to take, and like similarly in school, like what classes are you supposed to take, what research should you get involved in, what opportunities you can look for. So professors, advisors, your peers, everybody's there to help you. Everybody's there to guide you through the many seminars we have, the many workshops we have, which build on which focus not just on how you're going to become academically strong, but how you're going to learn work skills like building a resume, preparing you for an interview. All this, we have several resources at CSU. One of the reasons why I applied for CSU is the smaller class sizes. So I remember like when I applied, it was says it's 1 to 11 ratio of teacher versus student. So now we are adding more and more professors. The ratio might be maybe less. So that's very helpful because in most of the mech courses we have usually have smaller class sizes like 30 people, and it's very easy to learn and it's very easy to ask questions. And then you also have your graduate teaching assistants, then your learning assistants, and multiple office hours are there so that you can get help from those courses. Professors are always available for office hours. You can email them. So that's pretty helpful. I would also say the labs we have at CSU, the uh, they not only just give you the theoretical knowledge, but how to use machine. Like in Mechie, you have to learn how to manufacture stuff. So from using a lathe to a mill, all these machines, you'll be able to make clocks, trivets, you're going to be designing 3D printing stuff. So all this is very helpful, and all these resources are available to you on campus 24/7. And other than the labs, I just want to point out the academic resources. So not only you don't only have help from your professors and teaching assistants, but also from some of your peers who have already taken those courses. They might host office hours, and like departments also have their own office hours. Like in chemistry, they have their own office hours. In mech department, we also have our 95 help hours from Mesa. Then you have Calculus Center to help you with math. So there are variety of resources available which you can use to succeed at CSU.
Thank you, Manav.
So, hi everybody. My name is Kalena, and I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I'm in my second year studying biomedical and mechanical engineering. And there's so many reasons why I love being a CSU Mech Ram and why I came to CSU. And I think something that most everybody has mentioned is the community and what it felt like coming from somewhere out of state or out of the country. And I think that's such an important part of just what the CSU community is like and how welcoming and open everybody is. And I've made some of my best friends ever in the engineering department and in mech. And it's been just awesome getting to connect with all of these people from so many different places. And I love that about it. And I also really like all the hands-on labs and classes we have. My first year last year in one of our first mech classes, we were already like building things and had to learn how to code with Arduinos and make these projects. And it was definitely overwhelming at first, but it taught us a lot about, the process of just doing research and all of that. And so I think I love that part of it. And Manav had mentioned when we got to use like the lathes and learn how all the machines work. And I think all the hands-on classes are just a great way to get involved in engineering early on and really learn if it's something that you're passionate about. And the professors in those classes have also been wonderful, and they know what we're going through and what we're studying, so they want us to succeed. They're there to support us, and just being able to talk to those professors and learn from their expertise and knowledge has been wonderful. And all the different student involvement on campus has been great as well. Like the MEC exec board and just all the other student organizations that you can join has really helped make this such a good community and such a supportive place. So those are some of the reasons why I love CSU.
Thank you. So I guess I'll stop sharing my screen here. Is my screen still up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There we go. So I guess We can start with any questions. I don't know if anyone posted anything on the chat function. I don't think I see anything on there. So we'll open up this time so that all of you can ask any questions you might have. I do have some potential questions on our end, but I wanted to open up, give you all a chance first. Does anyone have any questions? This is a time for you guys. So you guys get to bring up, any comments, anything you want to share.
I see one question. Someone asked, what are cool engineering clubs?
Oh.
I'm familiar with a couple of them. There's the rocketry club. These are mostly the senior design clubs that I am aware of. But there's the rocket senior design club and team that shoot these massive rockets. I think they're about 10 to 12 feet high, thousands of feet in the air as a competition every year. So that's really awesome because you get to learn all the theory and practical things behind that. And then there is also like the Baja SAE club. They like make off-road vehicles and then race them around. And they're just really awesome to get involved and meet people as well as gain experience in any mechanical engineering field that you're interested in.
Jackie just posted the link to the student orgs in engineering, so you can all use the link to get a full list of student organizations. Someone else asked, I guess Mitchell asked, do you guys have previous knowledge about using design software before going into a mech engineering degree? If not, how hard was it to learn?
I can answer that one. So right now I'm in Mech 201 and we're learning how to design things in SolidWorks. And that is something that I had zero experience with. I didn't know anything about it. And so going in, I was definitely a little bit nervous and, thinking that everybody else knew so much more than me. But the professor's still starting from the beginning and there's so many different tutorial videos and places you can get help from. And a lot of my friends that do have experience with that have been able to help me out and offer me advice as well. So you definitely don't have to have any previous experience before you go into it.
If you were going to trust out to like teach yourself or anything, watch a YouTube video, anything like that, I would say SolidWorks is probably the most useful tool that we use.
Another question, what made you choose CSU in particular?
I can answer that one. So CSU, I knew that I wanted to pursue like a STEM degree, and but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I liked math and I knew I liked science and I knew I wanted to help people. And what's unique, at least I found about CSU, is it's one of the only colleges that I found that paired biomedical and mechanical engineering. So not only was I going to go specialized into the medical community if I wanted to, I could also get that mech background for that like solid sort of academic sort of just like solid choice that I had. But I picked it because I could combine the two of them. And, Colorado's a beautiful state and it was close enough to home, but far enough away from home at the same time. But I mainly picked it because I could combine the 2 degrees.
Thank you. Another question came up. What has been your favorite hands-on project?
I can talk about that. For me, I enjoyed making the clock, which is one of the projects for our Mech 200 level class, where you manufacture a clock with a pencil holder and a pen holder. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it, but this is like what I have, like, yeah, the background is gonna mess things up. But yeah, so then you take care of tolerances. This is and thus you use a CNC. So that was a pretty fun hands-on project. Besides that, I'm also working on my research, my senior research. So in there, I am able to shoot laser through a chamber and find out how efficient the fuel is gonna be. So they're like so very cool projects. You can always talk to professors about what's their research on, and if they're looking for internships or any people to volunteer and help them. So that's a good way to start and to find out about all these cool projects.
Well, thank you. Another question, have you all been able to explore different majors or paths? I guess if any, sorry, I was going to say, if any
I mean,
were open option, then how did you decide which path you wanted to go, I guess? And if you weren't, then you can share, Maren.
I mean, I was just gonna say that we're required to take however many we call them AUCCs, but outside of MET classes, so we take like writing, we take history, we take arts, you take language, and they're all elective, so you can pick whichever one you want. And I know some of my friends are going into like minoring in math, which they picked off, but they could go into other things. I have friends who are pre-med who are minoring in Spanish. You know, it's those other kind of choice to, like, if you want to go a different route or explore some other option in addition to your engineering degree.
Another question. We also, oh, sorry. That was Jackie's comment. Oh, wait, there is a question. So are there any capstone projects? And if so, what are some examples? Sorry, I'll just make note of Jackie's comment as well. She said we also have engineering open option and you can start there. So students who come into engineering, not necessarily knowing which path they want to do, what major, they have the option to do engineering open option to kind of explore all the different types of engineering before they have to make a decision. So thank you, Jackie, for posting that. Coming back to the question, are there any capstone projects? And if so, what are some examples? I guess, is anyone doing senior design projects still now? Manav, you're doing the research option, but is anyone else doing a senior design project? No, okay. So I guess I can speak a little bit on that. Manav is a senior, but he's doing the research option. So students can choose between the traditional, I guess, hands-on senior design project that is more design focused. And then students can also choose the research option if they would rather do the research path. Often students who are considering grad school choose the research option to kind of get a little bit of the research experience under their belt before they graduate as they're considering grad programs. But students who do senior design, you know, so the professor who sets up senior design will allow students to pick their top five choices of the options that they would like to work on. So there's projects kind of all over the spectrum. A lot of local companies choose to fund a project. So often a local company will have a product that they want to improve or make better. And our senior students are allowed to work on some of those projects to kind of help improve and make, you know, if they have a specific device or if they have, I don't know, like I said, a specific product that they want to improve or change or modify or update or, you know, make better in, you know, different ways. Often, you know, local companies end up funding those projects so that our students get to work with them to make that happen. And that would be, I guess, a capstone project that our seniors get to do their senior year. Another question. Oh, let's see here. Jethro posted, you can find information of all the engineering senior design projects and see what old students have done here. So he shared the link with you all. You can kind of see some of the examples. I guess I'm thinking of like I was saying, some of the local companies, I can think of OtterBox they make phone cases and, often they have our students work with them to make a better design or better, build their cases with better materials or whatever it is that they're looking to improve on their product. But you can see a list. Thanks for sharing that, Jethro. There's a lot of previous senior design projects that students have worked on, so you can kind of get an idea of some of the options there.
With that, Star, I would like to add, in senior capstone projects, it's not also that your project has to be completely about mechanical engineering. So I guess somebody was asking a question about exploring different fields. So I know it's kind of late, but in senior design, then you can also choose some projects like which are from electrical engineering department or some from civil engineering department, biomedical engineering department. So all these departments, you can find a project which overlap with Mechie, and that's also how you can see how you can use your Mechie experience and Mechie knowledge and use them for your projects there. And the way we structure this class is in the beginning of the class, you have to select, as Star mentioned, you have to select 5 projects. So you have to meet 5 different companies. And so it feels like you're actually taking a job interview. So you go to every company and ask them about the project, what you like, what they like about you. They're going to note that down. And so I believe somebody was asking a question about how do we prepare you as for getting jobs and getting internships. So that's also a good part about senior design, that you learn how to talk to companies. Then you have to submit cover letters, resume, which we have several workshops and several organizations which are there to help you guide through it. And that way you get an experience of working for a company being an undergraduate student.
Thank you, Manav. Yeah, so I guess the last question was, if anyone wants to add anything, are there any resources to help students find internships or research opportunities?
I can add a little more to that. So I also work in the Engineering Success Center, and we offer a lot of resources in there for students with internship searching and resume reviews and mock interviews. And there's also a campus-wide career fair and also engineering-specific career fair every fall and spring, which are really helpful. And a lot of different clubs and organizations you're in can also help. I'm involved in the Society of Women Engineers, and that's how I got my internship with Medtronic, a medical devices company, last summer. So different organizations and clubs and just talking to professors can also help you find those experiences.
Right. Thank you. What extracurricular activities are you all involved in, both on and off campus?
I work at the rec center. I'm a lifeguard there. There's in the winters, I'm snowboarding a lot. I could get an icon pass and go all over northern Colorado. I'm downtown a lot with friends. I like to hang out with them. And, I just wandering on campus, the rec center is great. I spend a lot of time in the library when I'm there too, just doing homework. So just wandering around Fort Collins in general is probably how I spend most of my time.
That sounds fun. I guess we've had people come in and people leave. So, any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question about using CAD. Did any of you guys take like a drafting or design course, like just to help out, being able to do it manually before being able to use it on a computer?
So in high school, I had to take like a manual drafting and design course where, you know, you do all the drawings by hand. But I wouldn't say most people don't do that. I'd say 95% of people don't have that opportunity. I do not think you need it. I think going straight to computer aided design is a way smoother thing to learn, and it works the same way. It's way quicker to do as well. So jumping straight to CAD is what most people do.
For me, I'm in my SolidWorks class right now, and so we're doing kind of both. So we are doing some like paper drawings, and kind of learning how to do it on paper as we go along, as we're doing it on the computer as well. So I kind of like that we have like a mix of both, so we get to learn how to do both kinds.
Okay. What course did you say that was? I didn't quite catch it.
It's Mech 201. It's like yeah, it's called Mech 201, and we're doing SolidWorks. It's a SolidWorks class.
Okay, SolidWorks. Yeah, thank you.
I'll throw a question out there. Any advice for high school students, for high school seniors looking at engineering programs?
I would say try to read what courses are you going to take, and how comfortable you feel with courses like physics, chemistry, math. All these courses help you learn the tools for taking mechanical engineering. And I would also say focus on the capstone projects. So start to think about if you have to do a project in some particular field, then what you're going to do. And try to look through professors' profiles, what they did, and what are they working on right now. So if I'm like, I want to work on rockets, so probably I have to take aeronautics. So try to find out what different people have done. Try to talk to your friends, colleagues. Try to talk, just email students around and ask like, how did you choose? So you can get a good answers from different students for why did they choose a particular field. And just try to look around, like why, like the only question you got to answer there is why. And it's fine if you're wrong also, because high school transition from high school to college level, it might be difficult for some, but the first year is pretty much for you to figure things out. So if you feel comfortable with the field, then you can stay with it. If you like something else, then you can move on or take it as a minor. So there's still that flexibility there. So it's not the end of the world if you're not sure about things, but it's good to know.
Thanks, Manav. There was another question posted about what was your experience with living on campus during your first year? Did any of you live in the engineering residential learning community?
I can talk about that a little bit. So I was living on campus last year, my first year, and I was in the engineering RLC. So I was in the engineering dorm in AV, and I was definitely nervous going in, living in a dorm with only engineers, but that's where I met all of my roommates I'm living with this year and made some of my closest friends. And I think one of the things I really liked about it was everybody in there was taking the same classes, and you'd go downstairs and see everybody working on their homework and overhear conversations, and everybody would kind of jump in and you could ask other people questions and get help. So I really liked all the resources and everything that it offered. And the experience of living on campus, I think, is something that people should experience when they go to college. And it was really fun just, hanging out in the dorm with your friends and being able to go to the dining hall and just be so close to everybody, not have to drive to go visit your friends at their houses, and everybody's right there. So I definitely had a good experience. I did have to move out early in March, but overall, I loved living there.
Thank you for sharing. I'll throw out another question about what is it like balancing engineering with the extracurricular activities when you want to do both?
I think time management is the name of the game when balancing the two of them. You know, it's a transition coming from high school. You know, you think you know how to prioritize your time. I thought I knew how to prioritize my time. I did not know how to prioritize my time. It takes a little bit, but I think once you find like your own personal level, feeling ready or confident in what you know, or confident in what you can finish in one night or during the week, and just being on top of things, it's a lot easier to balance like your fun as well as your work. So I just think like time management is the
Thank you for sharing. We're down to 3 minutes here. Does anyone else have any questions they want to throw out there before we wrap up? I guess we're supposed to run till 5. Never mind. I mean, we have a few more minutes left if anyone else wants to ask any other questions. I guess I'll put one more out there. How did you decide which major you wanted to pursue? I guess since engineering has different major options, how did you know mech or biomech, I guess, was a good fit for you?
I can talk about it a little bit. For me, I was confused between taking physics and or taking engineering, and once I narrowed it down to engineering because I like experimental sides of things better than the theoretical. So once I decided I want to be an engineer, it was a lot confusing because we have like so many streams where you can do your undergraduate degree from. I chose mech just because uh, it introduces you to all the different concepts from civil engineering to electrical engineering, and then you have the tools to code, to design parts, to manufacture. So it just opens up a whole bunch of array for you to explore later when you want to do your master's degree or postgrad, or also you can then do specification as an undergrad. So I am right now doing a specification of aeronautics. So just because later I found out that I'm interested in aeronautics, I'm taking more of my senior level courses are mostly aeronautics related. I'm taking combustion, aerospace engineering, space propulsion. So these are also one of the options which help you to find what field you're looking for. So I would say it's a learning process. So first you narrow it down to a little bit, like what field you want to go in, and then with specification, you're probably gonna feel like what you like or not while you're taking courses. So you can decide it in junior or something.
Thank you. Any other questions? Can we ask, I guess, Joseph, what year are you in high school? Or Eli, what year are you guys? Okay, Joseph's a senior. What about Eli? What year are you? Senior also. Okay. Do either of you have any other specific questions? Jackie, can we call it good here since we don't have a lot going on here anymore? Yes. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thanks for taking some time. Thanks for taking time today to talk to our prospective students. Hopefully it was helpful for some of them as they're deciding, exploring their options. So you all have a good evening. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Well, have a good evening, everyone.